Today, we will explore a teaching known as the three-mirror rule, rooted in Buddha's wisdom, that offers us insight into living without being shackled by the judgments and expectations of others. In our modern lives, it's easy to feel burdened by the opinions of those around us, or even by our own self-criticism. How can we break free from these limitations and live with true happiness? Buddha's teachings offer profound guidance on this topic. The three-mirror rule is a metaphor for understanding how we see ourselves and the world through three different lenses or mirrors: the mirror of others, the mirror of ourselves, and the mirror of truth, what is called the mirror of Dharma in Buddhism. By recognizing and mastering these three mirrors, we can learn to free ourselves from unnecessary mental burdens and achieve a more fulfilling, peaceful life. Chapter 1. The Mirror of Others. The first mirror we encounter in our lives is the mirror of others. This is the reflection of ourselves that we see through the eyes of those around us. From a young age, we are influenced by the opinions, expectations, and judgments of family, friends, colleagues, and society at large. We often strive to meet these expectations in order to gain approval, avoid conflict, or feel accepted. However, the mirror of others is not always accurate. It reflects the biases, desires, and emotions of those looking into it. What others see in us is colored by their own experiences and perceptions. Buddha teaches us to be cautious of this mirror, as it can distort our sense of self and lead us to chase after validation that is neither true nor lasting. It's natural to care about what others think, but becoming overly attached to their judgments can lead to suffering. When we rely too heavily on external validation, we lose sight of our inner truth. This can result in feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, and the constant need to prove ourselves. Chapter 2. The Mirror of Self. The second mirror is the mirror of self. This is how we view ourselves, based on our own beliefs, experiences, and internal dialogues. It's the self-image we hold in our minds. Sometimes, this mirror reflects confidence, self-assurance, and contentment. Other times, it reflects insecurity, criticism, and dissatisfaction. Our self-perception is often shaped by our past experiences and the internalization of others' opinions. For instance, we may carry the weight of past failures or judgments, which clouds our view of our true potential. Conversely, we may hold an overly inflated sense of self that blinds us to our flaws and areas for growth. Buddha taught that clinging to a rigid sense of self, whether positive or negative, is a source of suffering. The self is not fixed. It is ever-changing, just like everything else in life. By recognizing this impermanence, we can begin to let go of the unrealistic expectations we place on ourselves. The mirror of self can be a useful tool for self-reflection and personal growth, but only when we approach it with awareness and compassion. If we get stuck in self-criticism or self-aggrandizement, it can become another source of suffering. Chapter 3. The Mirror of Dharma. The third and most important mirror is the mirror of Dharma, or the mirror of truth. This mirror reflects things as they truly are, beyond the illusions created by our own minds or the influence of others. Dharma refers to the teachings of Buddha, the natural law of the universe, and the path to enlightenment. It is through this mirror that we can see ourselves clearly and understand our place in the world. Unlike the mirror of others or the mirror of self, the mirror of Dharma is unclouded. It reveals the true nature of reality, free from personal biases, attachments, and misconceptions. By looking into the mirror of Dharma, we can align ourselves with the truth and gain clarity about who we are and how we should live. Buddha taught that true happiness comes from within, not from external validation or material success. By practicing mindfulness, meditation, and compassion, we can tune into this deeper truth and free ourselves from the suffering caused by attachment and aversion. The mirror of Dharma teaches us to accept ourselves and others as they are, without judgment or clinging. Chapter 4: The Path to Freedom and Happiness. So, how can we apply the three-mirror rule in our daily lives to live happily without being bound by others? The key lies in shifting our focus from the mirror of others and the mirror of self to the mirror of Dharma. First, become aware of when you are looking into the mirror of others. Are you overly concerned about how others see you? Are you making decisions based on their expectations rather than your own inner values? When you find yourself caught in this pattern, take a step back and remember that others' judgments are reflections of their own minds, not of your true self. Next, examine your relationship with the mirror of self. Are you overly critical or harsh on yourself? Or do you sometimes inflate your ego to protect yourself from feelings of inadequacy? Practice self-compassion and recognize that you are a constantly evolving being, capable of growth and change. Let go of fixed ideas about who you should be and embrace who you truly are in the present moment. Finally, cultivate the habit of looking into the mirror of Dharma. This can be done through meditation, reflection on Buddha's teachings, and living a life guided by ethical principles such as kindness, generosity, and mindfulness. By aligning yourself with the truth, you will find a sense of peace and fulfillment that is not dependent on external circumstances. Conclusion: living in freedom. By mastering the three-mirror rule, you can free yourself from the chains of external judgment and inner turmoil. The mirror of others, with its distortions, need not dictate your self-worth. The mirror of self, with its shifting reflections, can be a tool for growth rather than a source of suffering. And the mirror of Dharma, the mirror of truth, can guide you to a life of inner freedom and happiness. In your daily life, whenever you feel overwhelmed by others' opinions or your own self-criticism, pause and ask yourself, am I looking into the mirror of others, the mirror of self, or the mirror of Dharma? By cultivating awareness of which mirror you are gazing into, you can make a conscious choice to shift toward the truth. Buddha's teachings remind us that true freedom and happiness come from within. When we rely on the mirror of Dharma, we are no longer bound by the fleeting reflections of others or the changing tides of our own thoughts. We can live in alignment with our true nature, at peace with ourselves and the world around us. May you continue to polish the mirror of your heart and discover the freedom and happiness that come from living a life guided by truth. Closing. I hope today's teaching on the three-mirror rule has given you valuable insights for living a freer, happier life. I look forward to sharing more of Buddha's wisdom with you in the future. Until next time, take care and keep reflecting on your true self.